Hello everyone! JRDeal96 here with a brand new video, and as you can tell it's another Q&A video, and as you can tell I'm on location right now, kind of, deja vu from the cruise, but I'm not on the cruise. I'm on location in California on the West Coast. I am visiting my long distance girlfriend right now at the time of me filming this. And I've had so much fun, and stuff like that. And I thought, what would be a better thing to do right now besides that? Let's do a Q&A video. I thought that would be nice to do, right? Because I've done it before, and I've done a Q&A on location before with me on the cruise back in 2018. So we haven't done one in over pretty much a year now. So here I have all of your questions. Hopefully I can answer all of them for you. Let's just hope so. So anyways, let's dig right in, shall we? Okay, I'm gonna actually start this Q&A with this last minute little DM that I got from my dear mother. Hi Mom! So she actually asked me, two questions in particular that are kind of interesting, but I'm gonna read both of them at the same time. What's your preference, New York or California, and favorite part of going to California? Honestly, I'm going to start with my favorite part of going to California. What's so cool about, California and where I visited is just the amount of, breathtaking views of the mountains in the distance, because you see them on your driving up California. Because when I was driving to Temecula from San Diego, the amount of breathtaking views that I was able to get from, the mountains and hills in the distance, you saw the highway in the distance. It was just like, wow. I kept saying wow every time I saw any of those mountains. It was such an amazing view. It's just it's something I rarely see in New York. It's crazy. I saw some mountains with snow on top. It's wow, dude. It's just it looks pretty cool. And now to answer my preference, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with New York, because I don't think I've, stayed here long enough. If I continue to visit this area more and more, I think it might change, but right now, since I've only been here in California for a maximum of 4 to 5 days, I don't think I've spent enough time here to say, yeah, California is cool and I prefer California over New York. So overall, I have to go with New York, because I think I've lived in New York for my whole life, and stuff like that. That's why I feel like I would go with New York instead of California, because I think I have not spent enough time here to really, know my true answer. So I'm sorry, Mom, about that. So I hope I answered your question correctly. This person actually asked me 2 questions. So let's answer the first question first. How has you and your girlfriend's long-distance relationship been going? I think it's been doing pretty good. We had a little rocky moment during the summer when we broke up for a month, because we were unsure of if we could make this work in any way. But I think at this point right now, we're on pretty good terms, and we're doing really well. We have a lot of fun together. So yeah, I think overall it's been doing really well. I truly love her with all my heart, and I don't know what I would do without her. So now let's get into the second question, and I already know the answer to this one. Are you and your girlfriend going to see Spider-Man No Way Home together? Sadly, no. I wish. Unfortunately, at the time of me filming this, which is on December, 13th, this is my last night in this hotel room, and I leave tomorrow, pretty much. So, unfortunately, I am not going to be seeing the movie with her. I honestly wish I was able to see it with her, because to be able to experience that movie, knowing what might happen and who might be in it as well, is gonna be probably one of the best experiences ever, because at least I have my girlfriend, by my side, to experience it with me, At least I have someone to experience this with me, because I've gone to movies by myself for so many years now. So unfortunately, I won't be able to see the movie with her, even though deep down I would like to. How are you, dude? Sorry, we haven't spoken in a long while. Honestly, I've been doing alright. It's been pretty hectic for me lately, because now I have 2 jobs, and now I've dealt with this. It's just been pretty hectic for me, so overall I've been doing really well, and I hope you are doing the same. This person actually asked me 2 questions as well, so we're going to start with this one in particular. What do you like about your girlfriend? Man, honestly, I don't know, man. There's something special about her, her quirky personality of hers, she's just kind of crazy, kind of like me, and she just makes me laugh all the time. She'll just hit me with these random, like zingers, and just cracks me up every time. It's just something about that, something about her and her, ways of just making me laugh. Like I've never laughed before, is what I like about her. And I love her for that. Now here's the second one. Time for kindness. Say one nice thing about yourself, Adriana, the community, and the egos. Oh, that's pretty daunting. Okay, let's start with myself. A pretty weird, but, nice guy. I think that's good enough. Pretty much. What about Adriana? Just an amazing, wonderful, beautiful person. My fans, honestly, you guys are caring. You are really caring and supportive of everything I do. And I truly appreciate that. It makes me happy. Okay, the egos. Like, what would I say to any of them? Like J or Die, Xander, Wikipedia, JD Thrift, or Dr. Spindler? I don't know. My greatest creations. How about that? Hopefully I answered that one correctly for you. Okay, let's move on. If you guys can go into any game and explore their world, what game would it be? I think my answer is pretty simple, and it's something that me and my girlfriend were able to connect more with, and that is the world of Animal Crossing. I don't know if that would count, but I'm gonna make it count. There's something about that world that's just so peaceful and just so fun, and peace. It's just something nice and peaceful about that world. It's just that all you do is just normal life, but in a more, cool way. And you look really adorable and cute, and you have all these, residents, and, Isabelle and Tom Nook, and all these other iconic characters in that world. And me and my girlfriend really connected a lot through that game. It was actually my girlfriend that suggested that I should get this game, because around this time last year for Christmas, she got her Switch for Christmas. It was the Animal Crossing version with, the Animal Crossing themed Nintendo Switch. And she called me saying, hey, you need to get Animal Crossing Horizons so that we can play together. And at that time, I wasn't into the Animal Crossing series. I knew of it, I had obviously heard of it, and I know there's a huge fan base for that series, but it never interested me at that time. Like, I didn't understand why it was that popular. It looked pretty basic and generic, and to me, boring at that time. Like, it didn't look fun to me. Like, it looked cool, and kind of cute, but it didn't look like a game that I would play a lot. Even if I, at that time, in my head, I would get, like I'd probably play it for like 2 minutes and then, turn it off and never play it again. But I, said to myself, you know what, I'll go get it, I'll play it, I'll give it a try and see what happens. And if I don't like it, then I won't play it. But fast forward to now, and I've had this crippling addiction to Animal Crossing New Horizons. And I've become a fan of the Animal Crossing series because of that. And I really, really am grateful of Adriana for suggesting to me to play Animal Crossing with her. Because if I didn't, I don't think I would have been able to connect with her more through our love of Animal Crossing. So, overall, my answer would be, I would, visit the world of Animal Crossing. Are you excited for In Space with Markiplier? And do you have any theories? You're damn right I'm excited for In Space with Markiplier. Are you kidding me? After, how great Heist with Markiplier was, and especially how great A Day with Markiplier was before that, and just my, love of that, choose your own adventure genre, and seeing how Mark is just a genius with that, I was really excited about the premise of In Space with Markiplier. Even though at first we thought it was going to be all on a train. But, I guess some things have changed during the script, when writing the script, I guess, and stuff like that. So I am really, really excited about In Space with Markiplier. And I am aware, you probably would have seen my reaction to it already. I am aware that there is a teaser that Mark, presented to everyone during the Streamy Awards of, In Space with Markiplier, and I have to check that out at some point. So anyways, do I have any theories about it? Honestly, no, not really. Honestly, again, I don't theorize about it because it would drive me insane. But I think the one thing I feel that might be connected to In Space with Markiplier is some of those, little bits in the 3 Scary Game videos lately. The whole the fiasco with Lixian and Lunky, and that 3 Scary Games with the Plier Corporation on it. That might have, I feel like that might be connected in some way to I was about to say a Heist with Markiplier, In Space with Markiplier. I feel like that might be connected somehow, but do I feel like, okay, do I believe maybe Darkiplier or Wilford Warfstache or some of the other characters from maybe, Heist Markiplier will show up in this? I don't know about, Captain Magnum or Illinois or, maybe Yancey, maybe. But Dark or Wilford, I don't know. But then again, I thought the same way when Heist with Markiplier was coming out. I didn't think Darkiplier or Warfstache would be in this in any way because to me it didn't make sense. But who knows? I was wrong before, and you saw my crazy reaction to both of them showing up. So who knows at the end of the day? I'm still going to have my expectations low just because I don't want to set myself up with disappointment. That's why. So that's probably like the only theories I kind of have, is that maybe the whole Plier Corporation, some of the stuff with Lixian and Lunky might have something that might be connected in some way to, In Space with Markiplier. Maybe. I have no idea. But hopefully, whenever this comes out next year, hopefully sometime early next year, we'll find out all the answers to that. But yeah, I cannot wait for it. I am really excited for it. And I'm really happy for Mark, because he's got so much stuff on his plate right now. He has that, and then he has the Edge of Sleep TV series, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, I'm really happy for this man. Okay, these two questions are kind of similar to one another. So I'm going to read both of them for you. So I'll start with this one. If you were to become an ego for an entire week, who would you least want to be and why? And the other one is, if you were to become any of your egos for a week, which one would you be? I'm guessing my least favorite, who I would be the least, and who I would rather be the most. So I'll start with the least. Okay, what would I be for? Which ego would I want to be the least for a week? I think Wikipedia, to be honest. Like, look, he's glitching like crazy. He hasn't gotten his upgrade. He's on old software. He has a horrible voice. You could barely understand, like Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. You could barely understand him. So I don't think I would be someone who you could barely understand and is always giving you misinformation. So that's who I would be the least. But who I'd rather be for an entire week, JD Thrift, I guess, because JD Thrift is kind of like me a little bit, but just more exaggerated. So I think that's who I would be the most for like a week is JD Thrift. I think just because overall he's just more like an exaggerated version of myself. I don't know. I don't want to be, a sardonic person or a psychotic little person. Or the good doctor. I don't know if I want to be this motherfucker. I don't know. So my least favorite ego I would be Wikipedia, and the ego I would be most likely would be JD Thrift. So there you go. If you met Markiplier and crew today, what would you say? Anything funny? Serious? Honestly, I don't know, man. Like, the fact that I have not met any of them, like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or Crank Gameplays, the fact that I've never met them yet is just unfortunate because they never come to New York, for, these kinds of, like Comic-Con, or, conventions, or they're never around in New York for these conventions or anything. I never really had the time to really, do that. What would I say to them if I met Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or Crank Gameplays? I think overall I would say thank you for everything. Thank you for inspiring me to create content on YouTube. Thank you for inspiring me to create my alter egos and just my love of all, dark personas, and, just my love of gaming, and just overall, I would just thank them for inspiring me to create, because they mean so much to me. They really changed my life forever. That's what I would say to them if I ever met them. Especially, I would say that more to Mark. And I would probably have a hard time not to hold back tears, because Markiplier meant a lot more to me than, the others. Not saying that Jacksepticeye or Crank Gameplays didn't mean anything. They did, but not to the extent that Markiplier did. So that's what I would say to them. Okay, here is the last question for today. How did you guys meet? Also, have fun. Trust me, I've had a lot of fun so far. But to answer your question of how did we meet, let me begin. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it once again, because I love telling this story. So the way we met was not through Animal Crossing, like I said earlier, but from one other thing. And I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. Yes, Unis Honest. I think it was pretty evident based on the fact I'm wearing an Unis Honest hoodie right now. But anyways, the way we met was through our love of Unis Honest. So, it was a random Monday in October of 2020, and I just got in to start my shift at the supermarket I work at in the deli department. And I'm getting ready and preparing to start skewing the rotisserie chickens to put into the oven and stuff like that. So while I'm getting ready and I'm walking back and forth from, the back of the deli to where the hot food section is, I notice her with her grandmother shopping, and I believe they were getting cold cuts. They were waiting online. And I actually see her wearing what ends up being this exact hoodie. The exact same hoodie that I'm wearing right now. She was actually wearing that day. And at the time when I first noticed her I didn't know if it was an Unis Honest hoodie. But what caught my attention was the lettering on the sleeve. Because I never seen the Unis Honest hoodie before, really. Like I just didn't remember what it looked like. Because there was so many other kinds of Unis Honest hoodies, like the split hoodie and everything like that. So I didn't have that in my mind. I completely forgot about the original. So what caught my attention was the word More on the sleeve. So here I am, stealthily looking and trying to look to get a better angle of what she was wearing, and also at the same time not look like a creep. And I'm seeing more of I see the word memento. I'm like, that looks like Unis Honest, right? And at the time she had her arms crossed, so I couldn't see the logo. So I was still unsure because I didn't want to jump to conclusions right away and say, oh, I like your Unis Honest hoodie, and expect her to say, that's not an Unis Honest hoodie, it's something else. But okay, thanks. But I wanted to make sure. So once she put her arms down and when the logo was, visible, I was like, holy shit, someone else out in the wild with Unis Honest merch besides me, because I've been the only person on Long Island wearing Unis Honest merch in public that I've seen. I've not seen anyone else in public wearing Unis Honest merch. I've pretty much been the only guy wearing Unis Honest merch. So it felt pretty awesome to see somebody else, wearing Unis Honest merch. And as fate would have it, I don't know if this was destiny or anything like that, but I'm not making this up. I'm not, bullshitting you when I'm saying this, but this was the t-shirt I was wearing that day underneath my work uniform. This shirt right here, the split Unis Honest t-shirt. I'm not making that up. Believe me, I'm not making this up. That's the exact shirt I was wearing that day. So when Adriana got closer to the hot food section, where I was, I finally complimented, her hoodie, and I believe what I said was along the lines of Memento More. And I believe she said something along the lines of, oh my goodness, I never had anybody, compliment me on my Unis Honest hoodie before. No one's ever complimented me before at all about my Unis Honest hoodie. I was like, yeah, I'm a huge fan of their, stuff too. I'm a huge fan of Unis Honest too. So that was awesome. And she actually said that she was from California and that no one at all in California complimented her on her Unis Honest hoodie at all. Which was kind of weird to me because the fact that Mark and Ethan are from California. I just found that a little bizarre. But I was like, alright, whatever. That's cool. At least I was like, I felt honored that I was like the first one to ever compliment her about her Unis Honest hoodie. I felt really, I felt really special, And that's when I knew, I was like, yeah, there's something about her that I like about her. I just don't know what. Besides that, there's just something about her personality that I like, So I saw her again on the day of the final Unis Honest stream. And then I saw her the day before Thanksgiving. And that's when she told me that she was leaving for California on December 7th. So we talked a little bit more that day, and then I actually exchanged my phone number with her because she wanted to, keep in touch with me. She wanted to still talk to me. So, and after that, a week later, we ended up going on our first date at a pizzeria. and we actually shared our first kiss that night too. And unfortunately, I never saw her in person again until recently. It's been that long since I've seen her in person. But I was finally able to break the distance after almost a year of not seeing her, you know? So yeah, that's how we met, through our love of Unis Annus. So anyways, that is all the questions that we have for today. That was a lot of fun, honestly. So overall, hope you guys enjoyed today's Q&A. If you liked what you saw here, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be sure to ring that bell to be part of the notification squad. Be sure to check out my Instagram because I make cool ads on Markiplier. Jacksepticeye, even myself. I also reenact as the cosplays on there, so go check it out. And be sure to check out my Tumblr and my Discord in the description as well. And also, I'd like to say one thing to my beautiful, lovely, wonderful, charming girlfriend, Adriana. I love you, baby. I love you very much. So until next time, JRDL96 signing out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!